So we have created a project. We have added your Selenium jar files. Okay, and then in the SRC we are creating your package. Okay, just give some package name, some locator package. Let me give it as a meaningful locator package, and then click on a finish. So from this I'll be creating a class. Okay, new class. Just give a class default example. Then include your main method as well. Okay, now we are just going to run it with the help of your Java. So we are running it with the help of main method and clicking on your. So now you can see it like your main method, your package, and your class has been created. Now what happens is like basically when you check in the Selenium, the different types of locators, you can have something called your. These are the different types of locators available. Out of which we can make use of our ID, class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, depending upon whatever the property it has been declared in your respective files or your properties inside your application. Like say, let us take an example for your Google.com. Okay, let's take an example for your Google.com. Okay, let me take it in Chrome. Okay. So here how it will be like, whatever may be the browser, your properties will be the same for any websites. Like say any website in the sense like if you open in your Google Chrome and in your Firefox the same application, your DOM structure is nothing but whenever you press your F12 button, the page source. This we call it as your DOM structure. It will remain the same. So it is not a criteria like in the Firefox it will be different, in Chrome it will be different. Everywhere you go, it will be the same. So wherever you can keep it and you can highlight that particular text box or button, it will be the same. So let us have a scenario like I'm going to write three values into your Google search box. One is going to be a Selenium, next one is going to be a Selenium IDE, next one is going to be a Selenium WebDriver. And finally, I'm going to click on the search option for your Selenium WebDriver. Okay. So these three elements, I'm going to use the locator called ID, class, and name. I'm going to use these three locators in order to locate the same element. Okay. Like say, just go to this is a text box. I'm going to type it, right. Just right click it, give it as an inspect. So here you can get the properties of the particular text box, in which you can see like you have a class name, you have an ID, and you should have a name. Okay, it's not like mandatory to have all these three attributes or all these three attributes inside the same element. In some other element you may find like ID may not be there or class may not be there. So it depends on the developer. Okay, so here you have all the three items. So let me make use of it. With the help of ID, let me insert a value called Selenium. We make use of the class name, we insert a value called Selenium IDE, and with the help of the name, we give it as a Selenium website. And finally, we click on the search option. Okay, so here the input we call it as a tag name, the class we call it as an attribute name, and the attributes value is like GSFI. So the tag name is input, your class is nothing but an attribute. Okay. So far you are clear, right, in this? So how to access this is like, so how the flow will be going is like, initially we downloaded a Geeko drive, right? We downloaded and kept it over here, okay, and the path we have copied it over here. We need to access the Geeko driver. So what we can do it is like, so whenever we call the Geeko driver. Okay, so how to call the Geeko driver is like system dot set property. Okay, system.set property. You need to have a key and a value. So in the key part only, you are going to call what's the driver you are going to call it. Web driver, all should be in smaller cases. Okay, dot echo dot driver. Then in the value part only, you are going to give like in which part you are going to call that echo driver. So that is the part we have copy pasted, right? Including your exe file. Note it down, including your exe file. Just copy it and paste it over here. Okay, paste it over here. Next, what you are going to do is like, next you will be calling your Firefox. Because it will invoke the echo driver. Okay, invoke the echo driver. So if you change the name over here, you need to change it over there. Over that, yeah, by default, that's the syntax for syntax. Give it. Yes. It will auto detect. Yes. It just needs to identify like that's a echo driver. That's all. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's not the issue. That's a syntax basically. It's a syntax. Like if you are going to call a Geeko driver, you need to call it like this. Like if you want to call a Chrome driver, like I want to download a Chrome driver, it is something like this, right? For us, yeah, got it. It's like you need to memorize it because it's like the web driver we are going to call a geeko.driver. It's not like the entire name we are going to call. We are going to denote it as a geeko driver. So we'll be giving it over. Okay. So next thing is like you need to call your web driver. Okay, either you can declare that particular web driver as a global over here. Okay, let me declare it as a global static web driver. So this is going to call or invoke an import file from your Selenium. So if you don't know something, right, if you don't know in the sense like if you don't know the case sensitivity and other stuff, just you can type one half of the word and press your control space, it will auto populate for you. So web driver it should come. Okay. So whatever is beginning with the org openqa selenium, that is being reference to your Selenium library files. Just take that web driver alone. Okay, you can see a import file has been imported. So this is a particular class. For this you need to declare an object. Your object may be driver or abc xyz, anything it may be. Okay. So without this web driver you cannot invoke anything inside a Selenium. So this is the major part. Okay, next thing is like I'll call this driver equal to new fire. Okay, I don't know the entire spelling, just I'm giving like control space. Firefox driver. Okay, that's it. Sorry. No. This is a Geeko driver, so it will invoke your Firefox. So that's what I said. It doesn't depend on the DOM structure. Even though I identify it inside a Chrome driver, I'll be able to run it inside your Firefox. So next step, I'll show it in your Firefox. Sorry, Chrome driver. Yes, it will open. Okay. So next, what is the application I'm going to call? Driver.get. So what's my application? It's going to be my google.com, right? Here, paste it over here. So whenever you type a URL, it should start with the HTTP or HTTPS. If you don't give your HTTP or HTTPS, it won't recognize it inside your Selenium. Okay. So just let me give it as a wait type. I'm forcing the browser to wait. So I'm giving it as a thread.sleep. Okay. So if I didn't give this thread.sleep, I'll show you how it will execute. It will be very fast. Okay. So let me give it as a 3000 milliseconds. That's nothing but a 3 seconds. Okay. now you have it. Okay, so next thing is like uh, you need to identify the locators. So if you want to identify the locators, first thing let me take it by using by ID. Okay, here I have my ID. What is the ID value is like lst hyphen ip, right? So how to do it is like from the driver dot find an element by dot id. So what is that particular ID's value? Just copy it, okay, and paste it over here. And now since it is a text box, you need to provide it some input, right? Dot send keys. Then you can give something as a Selenium. Okay. Just save it and run it and check it out. Just either you can run it like this, or you can give a shortcut key like Alt Shift X and then J. That means like it runs in your Java. So when you check your console, right, maybe it's not running, I think. So let me run it. When you can see your console, like there will be a port being displayed for. Okay, so this is what we call it as your Geeko driver port 6332. So your Firefox will open for you and it will run your Google Doc. Okay, and insert your Selenium. Okay, use the Geeko. And straight away use like if the Selenium version is lesser than your free version, then you can ignore the system.out. Now let me clear it, okay, and insert another text value with the help of class. Okay. Okay. Then you have a driver by class name. So for the class name, so what's your class name? GSFI, right? Just copy it, paste it over here. Dot send keys, just give it a okay. Just in case if I didn't give your thread.sleep, how your execution will be, right? I'll show you. Like finally you give like driver.quit. Driver.quit means close your browser. Okay. Let me run this stuff alone. So it will be very quick, it will execute. You cannot see what is being Selenium or ID, just it will close it up. You can see right the difference. That after 3 seconds it has been identified, it has run it. So let me give a wait time for 3 seconds. Okay, so that it will be visible for us in the initial state. Okay, I'll tell you like there are a lot of wait commands available. I'll tell you like one by one. Okay, so as of now, just for running purpose, just give a thread.sleep. Okay, and just run it up. You'll clear it up and then insert your Selenium ID. And then it will close the matter. So this is how basically your execution. So these are the straightforward methods. Why straightforward I am telling it is like you are directly taking the class and ID from the property itself and utilizing it inside your Selenium. Okay. Next, let me take it with the help of your name. Okay, and then finally I click on the search option. Okay, so what's the name value available over here? Q, right? Name. Okay, and then give it as a Q. Then you can give it as a dot send keys. Selenium. Okay. So let me give it as a wait time. once I give here Selenium WebDriver, I need to click on this search, right? Just right click it, inspect element. So you have your span over here. So this button is also highlighting that particular stuff. Just you can take the button also or span also. So here so in the button just you have your class name and your name, right? Anyone you can make use of it. Okay. Driver dot find element by dot name. So let me take it as a name. Maybe you can try it with the class. Okay. So what is it? BTNG, right? Just I'm taking the value of your name. Okay. BTNG dot click. That means it will click a button. Okay. So let me run this stuff. Okay. Find your search. After 3 seconds it will close it. Don't know why these exceptions are coming. Okay. So that depends. Okay. I'll check it later why those exceptions. But this is how your execution will be going for your Firefox. If you want to use the same thing in your Chrome as well, you can use it. Yes. You can replace this Firefox, just comment it out, and you can change it to your Chrome driver. Just give the path of your Chrome driver. Okay. So this is like Chrome driver. Now you can give it as a driver dot driver equal to new Chrome, right? Okay. So like this you can give. Now if you run it right, it will run inside your Chrome. Just you don't need to alter any coding stuff. Just you need it for one. Yes, exactly. So
it's like you just need to load the driver.
yeah, just
So
call.
all the purpose are not clear. So
Yes.
you can just load it to make it useful in previous videos you have.
Yes. Okay. So this is how your execution. Okay. So likewise, you can go for your IE. Just replace this Chrome by IE. That's it. And give the download the path of your IE. And give it. Okay. So till here, any doubts for you so far? Fine, right? Good to go, right? So next thing, let us go as a flow. Okay. So we have seen something like ID, class name, and name. Next one, let us check something as a link text and partial link text. What it is about. Okay. So what is partial link text and link text is like. So here I have done this particular stuff. Okay, I have searched it. So these are my results. So if I want to click any of these links, okay, just right click it, just inspect that element. So do you find anything over here as ID or class name or other stuff? Okay, let me copy this particular stuff. Okay, so let me take this entire stuff, copy it, and show it to you separate. So do I find anything over here as an attribute called a class or ID or maybe name? We don't have anything. We have a href and then we have something called data href. So only two things we have. One is your data href, and another one is your href. Okay, apart from this you don't have any other attributes available over here. So in this situation, when you have a hyperlink, okay, the special case, when you have a hyperlink or a button, you to 75 percentage to 80 percentage, you will have a text link to it, something called a Selenium WebDriver, Selenium documentation. Yeah, anchor tag. Yeah, because here you can see like this particular item, it's available inside an anchor tag. So I'm going to use that particular anchor tag, right? So inside your anchor tag, you have something called a wordings or a text value over here, Selenium WebDriver hyphen Selenium documentation. So I'm going to use this text value in order to click that particular element. Okay, by using your link text and partial link text. If you are going to use your link text, you need to give the entire value of the text field. So whatever I have highlighted over here, Selenium WebDriver hyphen Selenium documentation. Just copy it, and what you can do is like driver dot find element by dot link text. So within this link text, you can paste it and do a dot click. Okay, this will search for in the web page whether it has a text value linked to it as a Selenium WebDriver hyphen Selenium documentation. It will check for the entire text value, and then only it will click on that particular option.
So you basically go to all the languages.
Text, it will be like 80% it should be available for all the hyperlinks, and for button it depends. It depends. So let me run this. Click the particular option, right? So this is how it will be performing it. So if you don't want to give your entire text value, but that is not advisable to use your partial link text because there may be duplicates as well. Like as you can see, if I want to give you a partial link text for the same link, how will I give it? Is like driver dot find element by dot partial link text. So I need to give it as a just one half, either this half or that half, whatever it may be. That's depending on your wish. Okay. So if this particular value is unique, then it will be clicking on it. If there is any ambiguity or there are any multiple values which has the same thing, it will click either it should click the first one or it will result in an ambiguity if it's not able to determine the priority.
So is there any priorities in
Yeah, first whichever comes, that it will be clicking on it. If the priority is it's not able to identify the priority, or if it's inside the same division, then it will throw an ambiguity.
priorities in say by us?
It's not assigned by us, it's depending on the DOM function. DOM. Okay.
Index if you are not.
Yeah, index values. Like you can see over here, I given like Selenium WebDriver space hyphen. So, but in the top also you have your Selenium WebDriver, but I don't have your space and hyphen. So it will be like first, my prediction will be like it will be click on the first one, but my thing I need to click on your second one. So if you give just as a Selenium WebDriver, so as it is, just if I give it something like this in your partial link text, it will click on your first one. It won't click on your second. So in order to identify it as a unique only, I am giving it as a space hyphen. Okay, I'll run that as well and show it to you. Okay, if I run this particular stuff, it will click on your second one. Now it will click your second one. Okay, close. Now in case if I give this, if I didn't give this particular stuff, let us check. Like I am also not sure whether it will click the first one or the second one. So let us check it out. The prediction will be like it should be the first one. Or obviously it will be like an ambiguity, like it doesn't know like what. So it's clicking your first one. Okay. So this is how your operation will be. So for this only we never use your partial link text unless and until if you find something as a unique. Okay. So far any doubt till here so far? These are the straightaway locators which we can use it on. Just get it from your properties, directly use it. Okay. So any doubt till here so far? So far we have seen like ID, class name, link text, partial link text, right? So far any doubt till here? That's fine, right? So let us see the last locator for the session, like tag name. Okay. Let us check like what is a tag name. So from the tag name, from the name you can identify like it is going to identify based upon your tag names. So let us go by the flow. Like assume the scenario like I've done this particular stuff. I've clicked on your Selenium WebDriver icons. So it has been navigated to this particular path. So I have a scenario like I need to find out how many links are available in this particular web page. So how you can do it more effectively and more easily. So with the help of a tag name called, with the help of a locator called tag name, you can identify whatever the hyperlinks or depending on the tag name, you can fetch all the elements from the tag name. Like assume that for me, now the scenario is like I need to fetch what are all the hyperlinks available in this particular page. So let me go it by this way. You have a Selenium documentation. Just inspect it. So what's the tag name available over here? Right? A is the tag name. Then go to your maybe introduction to WebDriver. Inspect it. Again you have an A. So whatever the link you have it, everything will have an A. Even your project download, it may also have an A because that is also a link. Because when you press it, it navigates to a different page, right? That is also a name. So you can see the common things like you have the A tag as a common tag. So you need to make use of this A tag in order to retrieve what are all the hyperlinks available in this particular page. So how to do it is like now how many elements are going to populate? N number. We don't know. We don't know the count. So we'll do it something like it's going to populate more than one element, so it should be stored somewhere, right? So that storage we call it as a list. Okay, list. Okay, you need to use the import file called java util. Okay, because it's since it is a Java, we will be using as a Java util. So what we are going to store it inside a list? Web elements, right? So this is a Selenium. So inside a list, you are going to store a web element. So for that, you need to denote a object for it. Okay. So let me give it as a link. Okay. Equal to driver dot find element. Okay. So far we have used something called a find element. Now we are going to populate more than one element. So we will be using like plural elements. Find elements by dot tag name. So what's the tag name you are going to give? A. That's it. Okay, we have the list of link driver dot find element by tag name A, right?
So we will align with the tags starting from the from that.
Sorry.
We are aligning with the first A or the so we will have any other input element starting with A.
Everything will be called. Everything will be called.
It is more specific to my template.
Specific to those things, like if the tag name is specific to that particular thing, you can denote the tag name. If not, everything it will be called. Like where we can use this tag name is like whenever you want to call more than one element, or basically in a table structure you can use it up, or in a hyperlink something like this you can use it up. You can more you can fetch lot of value. From that values you can filter more.
So basically, we use the size thing. We will have to be
Filter, yeah, we need to filter it. Okay, so this is like a very transparent tool. A means whatever in that particular web page that has been chosen for, whatever is available with the A tag, everything it will be fetched. So from this basically you can get the size of it by using int size of link equal to link dot size. Okay, this will give the size value. Let me give it as a system.out.println. So it will give you a count value like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, how much every count is available. You will printing it. Okay. Next thing is like now you have provided inside a list. Now from the list, each and every element you need to pick it up and you need to loop it up in order to print the text value of it. Okay. So whenever you see, you can see a text value over here as download, right? We need to print this download. We need to know what is that particular stuff, right? And also consider a scenario like you need to print the attribute value of your href. That means like what is the href value it holds. That also you can print it out. Okay, how to do it is like just put a for loop. So this for loop will be something like different. Okay, it's something like a for each loop. Okay, from the link, okay, this link. From this link, you are going to transfer the element to another web element called hyperlink. Okay, you can denote it by any name. Okay, then put a value. Okay, from this basically what happens is like from the list it will call each and every link one by one and it will put it inside your hyperlink. From the hyperlink you can give it as a system println printing the text value. Okay, then you can give it as a plus hyperlink dot get text. That means like it will fetch that text value whatever from the A tag. If there is anything as a text value available over here, it will print that text value. Either you can give it directly like this or you can pass it through a string and you can give it. If you want to get the attribute value, any attribute value, like say here I have href, right? If you want to print this attribute value, then what I can do it is like attribute value. Okay. Plus of hyperlink dot get attribute. Within double quotes, you need to denote the attribute href. That's it. Okay. So this will basically loop it over. Okay. So let me give it before closing it. Let me give it as a thread dot sleep. Okay. Now what does it do is like it will fetch all the links. Okay. So let me run it and show you. So let's wait till it goes. Okay. goes over here. Now you can check in the console like how many links are available.
Something there are some hidden links also.
Sorry.
Hidden links. Suppose if I am not sure
Mm.
and showing me a form inside that there is a will take that also.
If it is available inside that particular page, it will take. Yeah. Yeah, understand it. Understand the Flipkart.com. If you take it, the electronics. If you are not pressing it, just moving the mouse over it, that particular Motorola or something comes popped. So if that particular item is available in the page source, it will take. It should take. So this is how basically it populates here for you. Your text value. So wherever it's an empty, it doesn't have a text value. So almost you have 246 A tags. From this, if you want to press anything, you can press it. Like you say, if I want to click this about, okay, then I can filter it by using hyperlink something. Okay, maybe I can put a validation over here. If hyperlink get text dot equal ignore case. So this is an about. Okay, then I'll be clicking the hyperlink dot. Okay, so let me put this statement at the top first. Okay. Okay, then let me put a break statement as well. Okay, if I give it, it will check it. Whenever the about has been reached, it will click on the about and it will abort the A tag as it is. That's it. If you insert the break statement, sorry. Yeah, yeah. What happens is like your execution will go over here, it will break it up. That's it. So in order to do it, simply 1 minute.
So the moment it comes the text.
Yeah, it should break. But before that, your execution itself is being break. So I need to insert that break somewhere at the other point. So let me check it. So this is also the same program. Not this one. once the about system has broken your particular stuff. Okay. I think it navigated and it closed it. Okay, so let me give it let me give some more weight time. These are the default locators which you can directly derive it from your properties. Okay, your ID, class name, link text, partial link text, and your tag. Okay, click on your about. Okay, and then it will close it. So till your about only it will be executing it. Since you are given something like equal ignore case, it will ignore the case sensitivity and it will check it. So any doubts till here so far?
As the memory ready with its
Yeah.
this will also see that
Sorry, which one?
getting the attribute as null.
Yeah, null. Null in the sense like your attribute value doesn't have. href tag is not available. It will print it as a null.
Okay, so it is checking for about those URL.
Yes. So
If it is not there,
it will take it as a null.
then we go about things about it. So the first URL is really not for there is a minus about.
It will click out. That's the execute. We don't go to the because we are given a condition like if this is happening, just click out. And then we are given a break statement. So why we have given a break statement is like in order to avoid the exception because we will be navigating to the next page, so it won't be able to identify the hyperlinks. Check, yeah, it's a for loop, right? Yeah. So in order to end it up, we are giving it as a break. Okay. So any doubts still here so far? So maybe till